to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, Pam.
Mayor Grimminger?
Here.
Alderman Skaggs?
Here.
Alderwoman Zerwig?
Here.
Alderman Stupi? Alderman Jokers?
Here.
Alderman Steiger? Alderman Okenfuss?
Yes.
Alderman Ross?
Yes.
Alderwoman Brunskill?
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Approval agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Martin, down to you.
Okay, my invitation letters went out to the folks on the Master Plan Steering Committee. I followed it up with phone calls. I've been able to get representatives from every area except the bank that we approached has not responded yet, and the farmer we approached has not responded yet for agriculture. So if I don't get responses, then I'm going to look for somebody else to fill those billets. You know, we're trying to get the steering committee manned by folks who represent the full range of business and education and experience in our community. So you know, it's not, there's no magic about the person. It's just one who's willing to serve and brings their knowledge to the table. Yes.
How did you make contact? Through letter or did?
Sent a letter,
Phone call?
followed up with a phone call.
Or did you neither one on those two people? No
I guess they got the letter. I left messages on their answering machines, and they haven't gotten back to me. Skipping down, Congresswoman Emerson came back to see us. We went over to St. Mary's Road and introduced her to, with the state rep, Donna was with us. And we showed her kind of the area that the National Park Service has expressed interest in, and she was very supportive, I think. You were there, the mayor was there, and to the point that she's willing to, after the first of the year, start the ball rolling. So that's very encouraging, and I've been in contact with the Tim Good at the National Park Service, and we're going to coordinate through him so that hopefully these parallel paths converge at the right point at the right time. Teddy doesn't know this about the sign committee, but I'm going to steal his thunder again. Well, he does know it, because I did.
Oh, about our meeting?
Yeah, right.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But
We,
you can talk about it.
All right, well, we hadn't heard anything from the state on our request for permission to put the signs up. And so Don Kreitz was on vacation, so my emails were bouncing back from him. So he came back off vacation on Monday, and I called him. Well, I'm working on it right now, he said. And his response through an email was that there are some requirements on letter size and borders on signs and things that we didn't know about and for the state aren't there. But nothing that I saw in that suggested that we couldn't just massage it and make it conform. But so that everybody's on the same page, he's agreed to come back down and meet with us next week and make sure that we, for the final time, we're doing it the way they want it done, so we can put our signs on their right-of-way. Well, other than that, I participated in a workshop that the Extension Center put on for chickens. I don't want to own a chicken after that workshop. They are not nice.
They are? Not really.
And my role, however, was not to talk to people about raising chickens. It was to talk about the ordinance, and everybody was very positive and in a good mood. We held the Market Street storm drainage bid opening. There were 5 bidders. Clifton Excavating was the apparent low bidder, $130,820. The next one was Vern Ballman at $217,498. Jokers at $219,390. T Drury Contracting at $235,500. and CE Contracting, who's doing the work on the safe streets, at $276,274. Now, when you see that, you go, what's going on here? So I made phone calls about, I never heard of Clifton Excavating, and they are held in very high regard. And they've done work for Procter and Gamble and Mary Lee Gilster,
Gilster Mary Lee.
Gilster Mary Lee, all over Perryville, done work for the city, and so it's a good company. They provided a bid. Now, when I've analyzed the bid tabs, and what it appears to me, aside from just kind of unit cost differences, the big thing is utility relocations. They apparently weren't scared about having to relocate a sewer line or a gas line. So they were bidding $400 when other people were bidding $2,000 and in one case, $1,200 and $1,200. So they're like 9 of those. So you have that much difference on a utility locate, and it skews the figures. So we're assuming that they're going to be able to do the work for the price they bid, and that's good news, because we budgeted $193,000. So if we can get it done for $130,000, we've got some money that we can look at the storm drain, the receiving storm drain that's clogged up. We'll have some funds available to take care of that problem. It'll also give us a cushion going into Porter Street. So
I'd be curious what they would bid Porter Street for.
So I'm very pleased with the outcome. Though I was a little suspicious about the numbers. It is not a fly-by-night company. It's somebody who appears to know what they're doing, and it's just their perception of some of the risk factors that are different from the other bidders. So, a lot different.
A lot.
What was the difference? Next bidder was Bowman. Bowman was the next closest bidder.
And I just got that this afternoon, so I didn't have copies made, but I can.
Yeah, look at the difference here. From here.
What I missed.
The citizens are very satisfied. That's $146,000
Yes, I've heard only
difference.
good things from them.
Copy that.
So
Just look at
that's
the
it.
difference right here. Just, yeah.
We,
Show it to John.
let's go with it, right?
Or they sacrifice it.
Oh, they're real.
I said, or they lose their the bid bond. You don't do that.
This is, that's for the Market Street.
Oh, on this? Well, you don't,
That's where that.
you have to have an ordinance for the parent low bidder, or they just start preparing the documents and we present the documents. Yeah. So they're preparing the documents now.
Okay.
And at our next meeting, we'll have a contract and everything on the agenda for you to act upon.
Hopefully they can be out of the way before CE gets there.
That's the only copy they got.
Well, they're ready to start. I mean, Pam had a conversation. They want to know when they can start.
He did.
So,
It'll at least be the first one in
235 is
November.
T-Jury.
Past the-
Terry.
You do double reading on it?
We
I mean, there's
make a
not,
movie.
Yeah, we
between
would
Bowman
need
and
to,
Jokers,
because
there's not
we
much
have one
difference there.
meeting.
They're real comparable, but why are they so much higher than?
Yeah, don't make.
Hungry for work. Maybe talk to CE and see.
Yeah.
I know they're only starting, I guess, on Monday. Really? Well, I talked,
gonna get
I
slow
happened to be
everywhere.
with
Yeah.
their engineer today, and I guess they're
Hey, Pam, can you
delayed a
see
little
that?
bit, but,
well, there was a late, just as an update on that. We had expected them to start this week, but they had problems with the survey points. And I can't explain it, they can't explain it. They didn't do the original survey. So they've been trying to tie in the points with the geometry on the survey, and it wasn't working out. And so I didn't want them to have that Fifth Street in a state of disrepair for the Rural Heritage Day and the Spirit Reunion. So I adjusted the notice to proceed to Monday. And so they should be starting Monday.
should we maybe talk to them, get an idea when they think they'll be around the market, so we can, if we could have a special meeting
Well, that
between
was,
now and then.
that was my question. If it looks like it's not gonna work out so that it's well coordinated, you'd be amenable to a special meeting just for that?
That'd be open to the public as well.
Could be just a special board meeting.
Just okay the contract with Market Street instead of waiting 2 weeks.
Where their home base at?
Fair-
Big difference.
I've never heard of them. Are they, now, when you have, do we demand them to come to City Hall for, the business
Meeting.
license? For,
Yes. Have to get a contractor's license.
Yeah, that's it? Okay. Stephanie, you're up. You've got a copy of her report, I believe, everybody. If anybody has any questions for Stephanie?
Stephanie, I was down at the chamber meeting this month, and did you get the email where they're gonna start working? They got like a webinar thing that they're gonna start doing, and, where businesses can go on there. It's a free thing for St. Genevieve. I'll try to get Dina to contact her or something. I think
Okay.
it'll be a nice, like, hit for local businesses to.
Oh, definitely. There's a
And
lot
business
of
owners.
opportunities. Right, there are a lot of opportunities out there through the webinars. Nice thing about the webinars, you don't have to take time out of your day to drive somewhere to sit. You can do it while you're basically at home or at work.
Yeah.
But yes, that would be great. I was just reading over my report here, and I realized that when I wrote the number that we are % decrease from September of 2011, I had my eyes crossed apparently. We're down 9% from September of 2011. But still, when we're looking at the year-to-date, we're now just down by 1%. And again, this is just actual visitors to the Welcome Center. This is not the hard count of people who actually come into St. Genevieve. This is just the people who actually walk through our doors. On the budget, the September 2012's expenses are lower than 2011. And starting with October with the new fiscal year and the reporting, I'm going to do the reports a little bit different. I'm going to separate out my building operation expenses from my marketing expenses. That way, when you're looking at, $11,000 in expenses, that's salary, any building costs, things just to open the building that aren't necessarily marketing focused. So I'll have that moving forward with the first report of the fiscal year 13. And hopefully that'll kind of show a little bit more clearer how the money that's been granted to the Welcome Center is spent. And on the web report, we're continuing to see the sharp increase in the visitors over 2011, which is positive. One thing I did want to, I spoke to you that this last time I was here and gave a report. Wanted to look to see what the mobile bounce rate was as far as people who visit the website with their cell phone or with their tablet PC, and see if there was a larger decrease. I did include a copy of that with your report, and it does have a higher bounce rate. So it's pretty heavy. People don't want to stay on there, so they leave. Now, the bounce rate is much less than what it was last year, but we have far more people accessing our website via their mobile device than we had in 2011. But the overall bounce rate is about 50% or just under 50%. And that affects our overall number. So once we're able to get a mobile website, I suspect that number will begin to go into the right direction that we want it to. That people won't automatically leave because the current site is too cumbersome for a cell phone. And when people have limited data plans, they don't want to use up all their data just looking at a website. Does anyone have any questions? No? Thank you.
Good evening. Got my report in front of you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
The restrooms, you're going to close the restrooms? in
Well, we're
November?
not now because they want to keep them open for football. But Kind of depends on the temperature too.
And Christmas walk?
Christmas walk, Main Street bathrooms will stay open, won't they, Martin, for
Yes.
all the way through that?
Yes.
Okay.
Them are just like the ones in the park. Valley
Oh,
Springs.
okay.
Yeah, I found that out, they wanted left open after I already sent my report in, so.
Interesting. Residents on Wilder, I'd like to thank you and you guys for putting up signs and all that on there. Miss Geggs, I'd like to thank you for saving her fence.
She's welcome.
And I see that you want to put dirt in the pool.
We haven't discussed that. I saw it when you gave me the report.
But I'd like, we've got plenty of dirt we need to get rid of.
You know, you can't just throw dirt in it. You have to break out the bottom of the pool. You don't have to take it out, you just have to break it out
Why?
so the water.
There's gonna be no water going through there. I went through this with you before. It's gonna run off.
Some soaking through the dirt.
Well, yeah, but it's not, I mean, just like your yard. As long as it'll soak down so far.
Every concrete basin that I've ever filled, I broke out the base.
The base.
Yeah, because what if we want to use it for, you know,
No, it's just a matter of, I don't know how.
That's why I put it in there.
We can talk about it.
Did you, tear the deck up, throw it in there first, or not?
I'd like to get rid of the concrete altogether, you know, the decking part of it. But just the dirt, you know, to fill the bottom in, you know, to keep somebody from falling in there. You know, they're still jumping over that fence and getting in that building. I mean, they're still gonna get in the building, but at least like worry about everybody falling in the bottom there.
maybe if we just
That
put
was
a new
only my
pool in,
concern
you
on
know,
it, you
we
know,
wouldn't have
so.
that. We put a new pool in and
And my feelings on filling it with dirt is that if you'd ever want to, I mean, I know probably not none of our lifetime will ever see anything, but if anybody ever want to build something else up there, you got all this brick and rock and stuff in there, you know. Kind of hard to put utilities and stuff in there with all that. So, I mean, that was my thinking with all this free dirt that we have. And the dirt isn't that good. It's got a bunch of rock and stuff in it. So I have no place else to go with it. Just trying to hide it.
Where you get it from?
Butterfield's got a whole, they probably got 50, 60 loads out there, and the jail's probably got about 200 loads.
Have you calculated the volume or
Yeah.
the whole?
dirt to hole.
We'll go by truckloads.
Well, you gotta fill it halfway up with dirt?
I like to fill all the way up.
Do you have enough material?
I'm almost positive we do.
Oh, yeah. Good,
I do have a concern on the Market Street project about the utility poles. Once they start digging that old pipe out, they're going to, and you know that there's a bunch of moisture around them poles.
Well,
Isn't
it's certainly
Citizens Electric
something that's
responsible
worth
for the
bringing up to
utility
the
poles?
contractor and coordinating with Citizens Electric.
Yeah. Because nobody's
Isn't Citizen
contacted
Electric
citizens yet, because
responsible for the
I was
utility
inquiring about that, about the poles, because the pipe runs right by them poles.
The current one is.
Mhm.
That's a good point. Have to do that.
Citizens want to replace some of the poles.
Well, they might want to support them until
Yeah.
the construction's complete with the guys, temporary guy wires.
Any other questions for Dave? Thank you, Dave. You have the next report here. Still could use a couple people. He's had that in the report now for, I guess, about the last 3 reports, so.
What do they have set up for lightning strike? Because he says that he thinks a lightning, the building took a lightning strike and took out the phones and
Don't they have like power
chargers
surges for
and
those
so,
things?
Is this gonna happen again?
Well, I mean, I don't know that I can answer that question. Does lightning strike twice in the same
Don't
place?
they have that insurance on their phone, like if something?
Yeah, but it is insurance, the deductible is higher than the cost of replacing it.
That was the old, phone system from City Hall.
Was it
Yeah.
the,
Hand me down.
You call them a strike.
you know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's like any other building. I mean, you know, the building is grounded through the plumbing system. You know, we don't use lightning rods anymore and grounding rods. So I don't know. Could it get struck again by lightning? But yeah, I guess it could. It doesn't have to be a direct strike to screw up electronics. I mean, you know, it can be just a strike nearby creates a kind of static field that messes things up.
I know the church has
Experience
been,
here.
the church has been struck at least a couple times in the last few years. It always messes up everything.
This is school
Do
too.
they lose like electronic
Usually the
equipment
school gets struck.
when that happens?
First time, and
Yeah.
it messes everything up.
I thought they put
Telephone.
something on there, that
Yeah.
communications, they put like something on the whole system where it would surge protect it from lightning strikes.
That's what they said.
Because I know our house has a surge protector from,
I mean, I have my television and computer surge protected, but
well, on our electric panel, we have.
yeah, I don't have the
this
whole
big
system
thing
protected.
Right, our 911 building's been hit several times.
Yeah.
that- No.
Always
Mhm.
mess things up.
Yeah, when you got a big power record about our house.
Yep.
Okay, Eric, hello. Any
Hello.
questions for Eric?
So you like that Ford, huh?
I think it's gonna be a pretty decent, option for us.
I hope he did the speed limit.
Oh, yeah.
For the record, it was a Joy Drive.
Oh,
Sunday drive?
I got to drive.
Yeah, he got to drive. There wasn't any riding.
It's not
Joy
your brother's
Drive.
for us.
Pretty peppy.
So,
It's just, yeah, I drove the course for years.
And it's a V6, which is good for us.
Okay.
Good V6, so.
What are they, front wheel drive or rear wheel?
It's actually an all-wheel drive.
What kind of car is it?
Yeah, that's his name.
so you came under 28,000
The
under
SHO
budget
ticket.
there, huh?
For the police department, yes.
Yes, that's a very good. And then, you talk about the court exceeding the revenues by 36,000.
Yeah.
That has to do
Lisa
with the-
Kemper's done a very good job with
So,
that.
Yeah.
I think overall, we were right at the budget with that, but we did the budget amendment for the computer software to early on in the year, so. So overall, I think she was significantly under.
Sounds good.
Speaking of computer software, I don't want to use Eric's report as an opportunity, but all of the new software is up and running now, except for the utility billing, and they're coming in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, to set up the utility billing, and it seems to be working well. There's always glitches when you set up something like that, and I don't get one of the reports that I want to get, so they're gonna have to write that in for me. But, I think when I talked to Sue and Lisa, and to a certain extent Pam, although she's tried to keep, I said, I don't know, could be, and, everybody seems pleased with it.
And being a relatively non-computer literate person myself, I was very pleased with how easily it was accomplished to connect the two servers, because that was a concern the whole time. We have our own server for the police department, the city hall has their own server, but for the court purposes, to get into the revenue, the two servers had to talk to each other, which, just like I said, from a layperson's standpoint, was kind of scary for us, but it actually went very, very smoothly and a lot easier, I think, than we even anticipated, so.
For the viewing public, can you go over for Halloween, what's the curfew, what's the, what does it, are you
I don't
you
have
guys
the
gonna
times
have
with me. I
extra-
know that in years past, it's been signaled by the storm sirens. We're coordinating with dispatch again. Dispatch still controls that, to continue that, so it will be a siren start and a siren stop. I believe in years past, it's at dusk, or somewhere around there, and then I believe it stops at, I want to say 9, but unfortunately, I don't have the answer.
Eight or
8 or 8:30.
It's 8:30.
Yeah.
They start whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll go some goblins show up at home.
I know we did,
Yeah, they're out there at 5.
we've been doing the Red Ribbon Week presentations with the schools for the last couple of weeks, and did St. John's today. And, obviously, that was a topic of conversation with the younger elementary students, some of the Halloween safety. And so I think our DARE program, the Sheriff's Department's DARE program, does a really good job of educating and targeting that subject this time of year.
I'd like to remind everyone that City Hall will be closed on Election Day, because we won't have a meeting between now and then, but we have a special meeting.
And can I publicly thank our chief and the police department and the reserves? What a wonderful job they do for us year after year on this Monster Dash run that we have. It's this Saturday. For any people that want to sign up, it's a 5K run and a 1 mile fun run for the kids. They do a tremendous job, because without them, my job would be ridiculous, trying to keep everybody on track and keep everybody safe. And they do so good. They're just at all the major intersections for me, just watching out for everybody, and I greatly appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Kind of a funny story, when I first was hired back as chief, as a patrolman, I don't lead a whole lot of parades or functions like that, so that was one of the first things that I led after starting as chief. And so I was in front of the group of runners, and they really have a good time. Everybody dresses up in costume, and it's a good time. And there's one guy that's just a cheetah every year. I mean, he just takes off like he shot out of a cannon. He's about running over the top of my car. I didn't give him nearly enough lead room to take off, and he's passing me on that first stretch. So it was kind of funny. I've learned a lot since then. So. But they do a good job. The Mid-America does a good job of coordinating that. And like I said, everybody has a good time and had a lot of fun. So
This is our 9th year.
Is
so,
it?
Yep, this is our 9th annual run. So next year's the big one.
Yes.
10.
What's your typical participation?
We usually have 100 plus.
1,000?
And we have so many other things going on this weekend,
Right.
so get 100, we're happy.
And the Heritage Days parade will be this weekend. The Heritage Days Festival is going on, so we'll be out
Busy.
with that procession also. So for residents on St. Mary's Road, there will be some traffic deterrent there as far as through traffic. Anybody that lives there that needs to access from 61 can certainly do that, but we would encourage any through traffic to go around through Seraphin and into town, because we'll actually create somewhat of a walkway there for the people coming back from the Creole to the field over there for the demonstrations on the Heritage Days. So we're not going to be allowing through traffic through there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And,
No one's here from the Alliance there. So it's the State Public Works Association, state chapter of the American Public Works Association.
if you read the report, there's nothing critical or nothing out of the ordinary going on there, so. Okay, let's go on to the minutes of the October the 11th.
Move approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes of the closed session of October the 11th.
Move that ain't for us over here?
Hang on a minute.
I'm sorry.
Yep. There we go.
Did you get that?
No, that hasn't been.
Move approval. Second.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you. And a financial report for September.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, old business bill number 3894, second reading.
An ordinance approving change order number 1 in the amount of $3,340 and a final contract amount of $156,613 on the contract with Jokers Incorporated of St. Genevieve, Missouri for the Westwood Drive Improvements Project.
Shar, okay. Roll call?
Alderman Skaggs.
Yes.
Alderwoman Zerwig.
Yes.
Alderman Stupi.
Yes.
Alderman Jokers.
Yes.
Alderman Okenthus.
Yes.
Alderwoman Broomfield.
Yes.
Alderman Ross.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no's, 1 absent. Bill number 3894 now becomes ordinance 3832.
Thank you. New business, bill number 3895, first reading.
An ordinance calling for the general election of officers of the city of St. Genevieve, Missouri to be held April 2nd, 2013, and providing notice to the general public.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And bill number 3896, first reading.
An ordinance amending ordinance 3824, section 1B.
Motion approved.
Second.
Question?
Did we change something since we agreed?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It was-
Explain this to me.
The numbers that were in the ordinance that you adopted were not accurate in accordance with our contract with the company. They were too low. So when we were entering the data in the computer, we discovered it. And so this is a housekeeping amendment that brings it back up to the rate with the increase that you approved at a prior meeting.
So it'll be an increase, right?
Yeah.
All in favor, first reading?
Aye.
Opposed?
Move second reading.
Second, Mayor.
So we have to get the bills out. So the second reading will allow us to get the bills out.
Keith, you second that, right?
Yes.
All in favor, second reading?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, bill number 3896, the second reading.
An ordinance amending ordinance 3824, section 1B.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Alderwoman Broomfield.
Yes.
Alderman Ross.
Yes.
Alderman Okenthus.
Yes.
Alderman Jokers.
Yes.
Alderman Stupi.
Yes.
Alderwoman Zerwig.
Yes.
Alderman Skaggs.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no's, 1 absent. Bill number 3896 now becomes ordinance 3833.
Okay, thank you. Any public comments? Okay, nothing, yes, any other business?
I'd like to talk, we had that meeting back in January, I believe it was 22nd or 23rd of January, and we brought up, there was 10 points brought up. It was for landmarks. And did we ever get it?
Well, the then chairman of the landmark committee appointed committees to do the work to bring back to the landmark commission recommendations to the board. And those committees met or didn't need to change chairman. As a result of Mr. Trump's asking that question several meetings ago, I approached the new chairman and said, did the old chairman give you this data, this information? He said he didn't know about it. So Brenda prepared a packet for him. It was delivered to him. He committed to getting back on track with boundary adjustments, ordinance revisions, the things that we talked about. And I can only hope that, and I think he will stay on it, because that's the kind of personality he is.
I know some of those things were taken care of. There was 10 points, I believe, brought up. And I know there were, a half a dozen of them that were addressed. Some of them were appointments, and that was done right away.
The big ones are considering ordinance revisions and boundary adjustments.
Yeah, when is there an when was the first ordinance for the boundaries? That's been a question about.
I'd have to get, I can't, there was
'Cause
the
then it
original
was-
boundary,
yeah,
and
and
then
then
there
it
was an amended
changed.
boundary,
Mhm.
and I don't know the dates on those,
I think that's a concern for some
but yes.
citizens.
Thank you, sir.
Any other business? Yes, sir.
How about open burning permits? Leaves are really starting to fall.
That time, good idea.
Oh, they're really coming down tonight.
Yeah, with the weather, rain.
You want to,
Wind.
30 days.
go from now until the end of November?
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's
That's
do
ideal.
that.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Is that, they still have to
Should we
come
wait
down
till
to City
after
Hall
Halloween
Still have to get a permit.
to start?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
No.
Sorry.
We just don't blow those right in the street?
Need a motion on that? I'll make a motion to do it from now to the end of November.
We got a street sweeper, right?
Second.
Pick it up.
Did you get a second?
Yeah. Okay, all in favor of open burning from now until the end of November?
Aye.
Opposed? Sounds good, good idea.
What is the stand for fire pits? I mean, there's been some issues about fire pit. I wanted to ask Chief Bennett about that, but, is there like some kind of legal term about what you can burn in a fire pit? What size fire pit or
No trash.
bonfire?
You can't burn domestic trash, you can't burn construction debris
Trash.
Yard waste.
Yard waste and wood.
and wood.
And there's no specific size?
Yeah, 4x4 is the largest
Pit.
pile that you're allowed to burn.
If you're into like an outdoor fireplace, that's maybe a little different. I do it.
But they don't
I
need a
use
burn
good
permit for
wood.
anything
I
like
mean, I
that,
use
right?
my-
That just.
Even if you have a
Grandfather.
fabricated fire pit, you shouldn't be burning domestic waste and construction debris, because it's got chemicals in it.
Right.
Trash.
No, unless, no, well, we don't go that far to require people to get a burning permit for like the outdoor,
Mhm.
you know.
Like in the evening, yeah.
Right. Unless there's,
Backyard.
like the summer when they said, I don't know what we were under, but you know, when they say burning was prohibition on burning, so.
And
Other
that,
than
the
that-
fire pits go along in with that. They can't burn fire pits during those.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, but.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure when
that's
you
an
say a
exception.
fire pit, exactly, you're just talking about putting
Like on
real
the
rocks
patio?
in, or you're talking about one
Well, I
of
mean,
these?
fire pit is different to a lot of people. Some people have you go buy one, some people make one.
55-gallon.
Yeah, they make those
Yeah.
ones that are on little legs and they're round, they may have a dome lid.
Yeah, see, I don't think
Are
those
they
are
make-
covered by the ordinance.
No, those are just more
If you'd sit around and.
decorative,
whatever.
sitting
Mhm.
around, talking.
Yes, sir.
Another thing is daylight savings time. Change the batteries in your smoke detectors and in your carbon monoxide. If you don't have one, you ought to buy a carbon monoxide detector.
Change your
That
batteries.
should be
too.
added to our art on our inspection.
Yeah, for if they have gas.
You see, all the rest of the town's really pushing for that.
You want us to look at adding,
Yeah, I said
Carb-
that
carbon-
2 or 3 months ago on our building inspections. We need to add that carbon
Carbon
monoxide.
monoxide.
The detector, like it'll
Yeah.
beep if you.
it's not in the building code now.
But that's critical.
So
should add
we'd have to
that
amend the
on.
building code to require the carbon monoxide detector. And
I think
then
that would
we
just
would
be-
inspect it with change of occupancy.
Safety precaution for.
Not on the new construction.
I think so. I'll check it tomorrow.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Free now.
I'll be out.
Good time to roll.
Let the good times roll. Be safe, Dave.